Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people that wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son of them.
All right, you two cutie pies. Let's see. Wait. Okay, you just told me that you ladies are sisters.
Yes.
You're the baby over here on the left that was bullying your big sister in the pink.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, what's your name?
Willa.
Willa and
Ellen.
Now, tell me what you know about people my color, brown-skinned, who were
Indigenous people.
To where? To what land?
To America.
All right now.
States.
And you know that as a little girls, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
All right. I just want to thank you both. Where did you say the Indians were from? Where you are?
We have Abenaki up in Vermont.
Okay, and
we have the Penobscot in Maine and the Mashantucket.
Yeah, okay. All right, ladies. Well, I want to thank you for that. It's just good to know. Because I was born in the 60s. We were taught that. You said everyone should know?
Yes.
All right, ladies.
Yes.
You girls, you're two good girls, and you got to stop bullying your big sister. Okay. Have a good day.
Okay.
I have got to get this. And now you said you're a veteran?
Yes.
And what have you learned about the indigenous Indians of this land that's my color, copper color?
It's world history and U.S. history.
Uh-huh.
So, and then the people of color were from the northeast part of the world here in New England area. In Buffalo.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not. No.
Rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some fucking cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we want it now, never later. No more favors done with all these traitors who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow, so I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road, and I'd rather stay at home. And life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy, you do this for my old lady. They
told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
See, ain't shit changed, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or two so it could stop the bleeding. Roll me up a spliff or two, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that nigga undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that drama, mama, I don't get between it. They be trying to turn it on you, damn they really tweaking.
We broke, but we wealthy in ability and hopes fits. Bitch, no, we only need the brokerage. We only overage, overseeing all the dope shit. Killing these cats with they facilities. Flush down the drain, leaning through all 8 lives till that become they centerpiece. Unfold and be a masterpiece at half of all our faculties. We actually dope, we just don't know that half of we.
Just don't know that half of
They told us, stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips. And thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us, stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips. And thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
Hey y'all, smash that motherfucking like button. Smash it. Smash the like button, y'all. Hey, everybody watching. Shout out to everybody watching. I'm glad y'all are here. You know, niggas is mad because I'm pulling out the motherfucking treaties, because treaties says a lot, and niggas is mad. I don't care if I'm fucking up somebody's game. I don't care. That's not why I'm here. I'm Wire Tribe, and this is how I'm bringing it. And see, for the years, for a minute, I've been holding back stuff for our court case, but I don't really have to hold. There's certain things that I don't need to hold back because it's official. And a lot of this information is in our face, and I'm just trying to get you to see it and understand it and how you can use it, because the enemy is sloppy, mad sloppy. First of all, I want to say this. Like I said, first thing first, let me say this and let me respond to people subliminally, because they send out messages subliminally. First thing first, I'm a motherfucking Indian and I smoke tobacco. Cigarettes, this is an Indian damn thing. We grew the shit. So I'm an Indian and I smoke. Now, what I don't smoke, which I know is natural, I don't do weed. I don't like weed. I tried it many years ago when I was 16. It's not for me. I don't like it. I don't like how it make me feel. I just don't like it. I never did. And I don't drink alcohol. I try wine, but that's only just to fit in. It's not something I do all the time. I don't do alcohol, period. Does that make me perfect? Hell no. I smoke my cigarettes. I drink massive amounts of water. I drink my coffee. I have my coffee. I'm Indian, goddammit. We grow coffee beans. Okay? So don't me smoking a cigarette and drinking my coffee and drinking massive amounts of water, and only drink room temperature water. I don't drink cold water. I'll drink it if it's there, but for the most part, I drink room temperature water. I love water. I don't have high blood pressure. Thank the ancestors. Thank you. I don't have diabetes. None of that. I'm not sick. The only thing I get fucked up with is the acid reflux, but that's my fault because I keep eating the wrong foods, and I should know better. So let me just put that out there. And guess what? That being said, because I smoke cigarettes, that ain't got a damn thing to do on how I run our nation. So back off, especially if I support your funky ass. Okay? Let me respect you. All right? Accept my compliments. All right? That's all I ask. Respect me and I respect you. Number two, I don't get into religious disputes. I don't. I don't care how people worship. I've tried, like I said, I've tried, Christianity. That don't work for me because I don't shout. I don't do the Holy Ghost. I don't do none of that. And it was just not for me. I saw the money gig in it. And it ain't no different than being on YouTube and making money, keeping up propaganda. Okay? That's what Christianity does for me. I tried to study with the Hebrew Israelites. That didn't work for me either. All right. I like the Hebrew Israelites, brother, but it's still Christianity, and it's very, very King James. I was not raised as a woman to silence myself and be overtly humble under a dick and balls, aka a male. Okay. Now I love men. I do not join in conversations bashing men. I don't do that. I don't like that. And I don't like to be around sisters that continuously do that, degrade our men. I don't like to get in those conversations because in some instances, I understand what our men go through. And in some instances, I feel that some of it is cop out. So I don't engage in YouTube segments where you just bash men all fucking day. Nah, it's not for me. I much rather chip in and help them transition, convert, or get them on their feet where they need to go. I don't like doing that. I don't like being disrespected by men, but me, the way I was raised to defend myself vocally and physically. And that's just the Indian in me. That's how my father raised me. All right. Like I said, I have 12 brothers. I grew up with boys. I got one sister. And it is what it is. I'm Indian. I'm from the hood. I'm straight from the hood. I love education. I do. I love researching. I love studying. And I had real issues with going to college. They was like, are you going to ever stop? Because I like going to school. I love being in front of professors. And I love researching and learning. So I finally stopped some years ago. But that's how I earned my degrees. I don't know it all. I damn sure don't. I learn every day, just like everybody else. I'm a student, always first. I'm a student. And I like to lecture. I like to share what I have, and I like to give my voice, my opinion. And I like to share, and I like to dialogue. So let's just put that out there. I'm not on here to be in a fucking YouTube composition because YouTube is not how I make my income. YouTube is my community work as part of my tribal business. Okay? I like to learn. I do. When I want to learn and I'm in a learning mode, I go and I look in other channels and listen to their lectures. And I do not downgrade my brothers. Now, as far as people engaging on hiding our true history as a people here in the mainland, North American landmass, I got a real problem with that. So I come out every day. I come out to my audience and share to instill in you and make and give you confidence in as to who you are. I don't throw no blood test bullshit at nobody. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm coming with what this government got on my people. Bottom line, that's how I come. That's how we got put in the position we are as Indians. And I come with the smoke. So I'm using the same motherfucking information they use to wipe us out. So you can understand who you were before you were reclassified 9 fucking times. And, put on blast our people that's chipping in with this shit. Oh, it's an agenda. And it's always been an agenda against the original people of this landmass. They're oftentimes told that we died out. And that's just not the fucking case. We did on paper only. And it's always been an agenda to keep us in the dark about who we are. So you got the 20th century niggas jumping up into these different religions. Same niggas and you as me from the hoods jumping up in these different religious affiliations, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I grew up with many people in my hood from different religious affiliations. But all I ever ask, and I don't got no smoke for how people worship. All I ever ask is for our brothers and sisters from our hoods all over the Americas, all right, is don't get religion mixed up with who you are internally, blood-wise, physically on this earth. Don't get religion mixed up with racial identity. Okay, that's all I ask. And if people try to do that, I combat it because I got a problem with it. I'm a motherfucking Aboriginal American Indian to this landmass. I'm not in nobody's religious affiliation. All right, I do believe in that there's a higher power, a higher being, that there is a God. I truly do. But I just don't feel I need a middleman to reach a natural being, the true higher power. I don't need no middleman. That's some bullshit. And that's what's being taught. I don't. All right. So we could be cool forever. And you believe what you want to believe, but don't cross me with it. Don't try to push me on it. You do you and I do me. All right. I have my coping mechanisms when it comes to depression or being unhappy, or I have my coping mechanisms. All right. I had enough with religion. Okay. I did. Nobody can't run up on me and tell me about nobody from out of the sky and that I can't see. All I'm saying is I don't have nothing against no religious organizations. Just don't enforce it on me and don't lie to my people about that's who they are. All right. And then we cool. So I said, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Y'all share this because we need people to understand this. Like I said, the first week of September, I'm on the streets of Hartford with this straight up. And I'm going to be live while I'm doing it. I'm on the streets of Hartford and I already got people contacting me. Yes, we'll be out there the first week of Hartford and we'll be live. And we'll be doing genealogies live outside. We're going to snatch niggas off the street and sit their ass down on a chair and do their genealogies live. And that's what we're going to do. That's how we do wire. Okay? So I left off yesterday. We did, we went in detail about how shit happened. It started up here in the north with the way, how did we become black? And I showed you just by focusing on one tribe here in the north that is federally recognized and state recognized, the Pequots, the Narragansetts. We talk about them, and we talked about the Mohawks because the Mohawks were at one point Pequots. They were. It was just one tribe here in Connecticut. Pequots, and then the Mohawks, like we do, and we still practice, we still do the same shit today. I don't give a damn if you call yourself from the Nation of Islam, the Sunni, whatever, any of those Muslim, Islam religions, 5% is all that shit. We still, as Indians, do the same shit. I'm going to show you how. Prime example, and we turn on each other. The Pequots, was one tribe, the Mohawks and Pequots. There was no Mohawks. It was just straight up Pequots. And I showed you all of them. The Mohawks and the tribe members within the Pequots wasn't feeling the Pequot leadership and shit in the way they was running. So they decided to separate and name themselves Mohawks. They became the Mohawks. but they were originally Pequots. They turned on their brother, joined the Narragansett tribe and the English colonizers, and went to war on the Pequots. I went through all of that. And after there was a treaty written, Hartford, the Treaty of Hartford said, took the name of the Pequots off the map. Okay? And all that shit. Told them that they had to be black. They were forced to say that they were black in order to take away their land rights and whatever in their position. The Pequots is really supposed to be running the state of Connecticut. But like brother said, yo, this pseudo-ass English government came in here and took over. Bottom line. And guess what? That's how it happened in the South. We were done the same way because the shit happened by the same people. We talked about why there's such conflict between Northern men and Southern men, our brothers. And I love my Southern brothers and sisters. I don't give a fuck what happened. I do. And I rocks with my Southern and Midwest brothers and sisters. I'm sorry. And I began to learn why it's like that. Well, because the Narragansetts, all of them, these tribes from the north, ran with the English colonizers down south. They came from the north to the south and just wiped out and declassified and unnamed, unrecognized all the unrecognized Indians in the south. And they had folks in the south to assist them. They had the Cherokees. All of them went in on the tribes because we was that powerful. They needed more niggas to defeat more niggas. And it's the same way today. When we get tired of being under a particular leadership, we step away and formalize our own shit. That's what they did after Noble Drew Ali established the Moor shit. Then you got all these other, they wasn't feeling them no more. And like I showed y'all, just, I use this as a guider. I just put this up, how we do each other. When we ain't feeling each other, then all other shit start breaking off. So you had Christianity. Our people got tired of that. Then the Moors, Noble Drew Ali came with this shit, the Moors, all right? Then brothers got tired, didn't want to be involved with the Moor stuff, so they broke off into all these other different types of Middle East religions, which is Nation of Islam, the 5%, the Muslim, all that's a spinoff from the Moors. All right, bottom line, that's the way I see it. All right, there was no Moorish empire. I was able to show that there was no Moorish empire over in this bitch. You want to say it was a Moor empire? Yo, tell that to the Pequots, tell that to the Narragansetts, tell that to all the tribes of the north, that there was a Moorish empire over here. It wasn't. It's a fucking lie. That shit didn't get established until the 20th century. I'm done with that. I ain't got no more smoke on it. So when I left off yesterday, I said that we're going to get into treaties. So what I did, and I told y'all I pulled so many treaties, and I finally went to CVS again today to buy more flash drives because I had to download all those treaties. It's so many, and it's so much information, man. So today, and I hope Certified Sachi's listening because I am going to do a few treaties from Tennessee, but I'm going to start off with the treaties from New York. Okay, I'm going to start off with New York treaties first. Okay, just a few. And there's a bunch of treaties that the Iroquois Confederacy did. Yeah, these are the people that y'all want to choke, the Iroquois Confederacy. So we're going to mess with New York treaties a little bit today. Not all of them. I just picked out a couple. So I'll do different ones every time I come live. Show you what happened to your damn land. And we're going to do, let me see, New York. We're going to do Virginia first. I pulled some from Virginia first. Or just a few. We're going to read about it. Then I pulled some from New York. And then I pulled Tennessee. And we're going to go through all that today. All right? So y'all with me? Smash the like button. Here's what I want you to understand about treaties. What's so sweet about them. Now, when you're looking at treaties, this is official shit and official documents that happen. Right? Give me a 1. I want y'all to ride with me, okay? And understand where I'm coming from. Because you use the same goddamn information that was used to demolish your ass. Treaties is one thing that genocided our asses out. And that's a fact. Treaties. So listen, y'all, with treaties, listen. There was a lot of treaties made, and a lot of shit was broken. A lot of treaties was broken. But here's the beautiful part about it. They are real official documents that took place or were supposed to take place, and they didn't. But the most, you're most concerned about the treaties is the treaties put your ass on your land. And that's a fact. The treaties put you exactly where you were. The treaties identify you as an Indian, as an Aboriginal. Now, when treaties are signed, they're signed by the chief. The chief represents his territory. Understand that. When a treaty was signed, a specific treaty was signed, listen, if you was in that territory at that time, that's the Indian you were. You better know this shit. You better know it. So now that's two identifiers for you to understand the Indian that you are. You're not living in Indian territory unless you're that Indian back in that time. And that's a fact. Indians, we was always territorial, and we're still that way today. As drug dealers in the hood, we practice the same shit. A lot of shit we didn't let go. And that's a fact. The treaty identifies you. If you were somewhere in the 1800s and Indian territory, you, Negro, who was told to be called black. This is some real shit. Understand this, y'all. When I'm telling you, a treaty makes you an Indian, whether it was honored and broken or breached. It makes you the Indian. If a treaty was signed in the area that your ancestors was in back in the 1700s, baby, you that Indian. Because the treaty is signed for a particular area. And in that area are those Indians that chief signed. Understand that. That is one of the most effective ways of proving your identity that was taken from your ancestors. Give me a 1 if you clearly understand that shit now. Even if the treaty was broken, the treaty still got your ass in that area. I don't care if it was broken or honored. That treaty got your ass living in that area. And you better believe it. Give me a 1 if you understand that. Chiefs signs the treaties. Chiefs represent their territorial area. Their territorial area is the only land they have the rights to sell as chiefs, whether it's a whole fucking town. I don't care if the treaty was honored or not. If it's old, I don't care. The point is, it's a documented and official action that was supposed to take place or took place, that have taken place. And most of the time when you sign a treaty, it's for peace and to sell land. And if you was in an area where a specific chief signed a treaty with the colonizers, any foreigners, you were that Indian. You didn't just move in Indian territory and live. No, you could not encroach up on Indian land unless you was that Indian. And that's a fact. I need more 1s for y'all to understand this. Treaties put your ass right in your Indian territory. That's proof. That's documental proof. Legally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You need to understand that. Give me a 1. I need more 1s because I need to know that you are here. You guys are here. I need more 1s. If I have to break it down more, I'll break it down. Treaties put your ass right in your Indian land. That's proof. A chief, even if he's signing away your fucking land, You're the Indian that was removed from that land. I need more ones. I can't go further. It's 92 people up in here. Hit the like button. I need to make sure y'all understand that. Like, a treaty is more valuable proof than a census sheet. None of us, you didn't even know your chief was selling your shit out. But that treaty put you there, and you have proof. You have proof. The treaty matches the census sheet. I need more ones. I can't move. Until I see more ones. Give me a 2 if you disagree that a treaty don't prove you're Indian in Indian territory if the chief of that territory signs the goddamn treaty. I want the smoke. Come tell me to my face that a treaty don't put you on your land. A treaty can't prove you was that Indian. If your chief of that territory signed away and sold your land, prove to me. A lot of people don't use treaties as proof of being the Indian. Your chief signed you away. Okay, I ain't seen no 2s. I'm going to keep going. Let's go. Let's start with Virginia. And after Virginia, we're going to move to a treaty is not worth the paper that it's written on. 1A. Maybe when I open the panel, you can come and explain that to me. Okay, the enemy's public. But let's go. I'm going to get into the slides because there's a lot of slides. A lot of them are pictures. Okay, good. At least I know you understand. So let me get the share screen going. Where is it? Oh, here it is. All right. From the beginning. All right, we're going to start with the Virginia treaties. These are not all the treaties from Virginia. It's a whole lot more. I just picked a few. Let's go so you can understand. When I explain it to you, some people are not visual, are not audio learners. So now I'm doing audio and visual, which helps you understand where I'm going so you can see where I'm going. Sometimes people have to see what you're saying. So let's go. So we got the Treaty of 1646. The General Assembly of Virginia signed a peace treaty with Negretts. In October 1646, the General Assembly of Virginia signed a peace treaty with Negretts, which brought the Third Anglo-Powhatan War to an end. In the treaty, the tribes of the Confederacy became tributes to the King of England, paying a yearly tribute to the Virginia governor. At the same time, a racial frontier was delineated between Indian and colonial settlements, with members of each group forbidden to cross to the other side except by a special pass obtained at one of the border forts. The extent of the Virginia colony open to patent was defined as the land between the Blackwater and York rivers and up to the navigable point of each of the major rivers. The treaty also permitted settlements on the peninsula north of the York and below the Potomac, as they had already been there since 1640. Now, the red line between the Virginia colony and tributary Indian tribes as established by the Treaty of 1646. The red dot shows Jamestown, capital of Virginia colony, and that's the red dot right here. And this red line, like I said, it shows the boundaries between the Virginia colony and the tributary Indians. So the Virginia colony just had this, and as all the rest Indian land. Let's go, y'all. Like I said, when these colonizers came here, they only had little pieces of fucking land. They didn't have a whole state. That's what people got to understand. We're just using the name of Virginia used for the sake of explaining. But all the Powhatan land was not called Virginia. It was its own name. It was Powhatan land. Bottom line. Within that red, that was Virginia. Give me a 1 and I can make sure you understand that. See, a lot of us think that, oh, the colonizers came and they got a whole state of Virginia. Nah, no. You got that. There's your red boundary line. That's it. The rest of the land was Powhatan land. All right, let's go. Neckartowntons remained paramount chief of what was left of the Powhatan Confederacy until his death about 1649. The tribes of the former Confederacy, however, were scattered. When Toppatomi succeeded Neckartowntons, it was no longer a paramount chief of the Powhatan, but as chief of the Pamunkey. I did it last year. Sometimes I did the Pamunkeys and showed y'all the little black kids going to Pamunkey school. Totopotomoy worked as an ally with the colonial government to maintain peace. In 1656, he died in the Battle of Bloody Run, fighting on the side of the colonists. See, our people, man, against encroaching hostile tribes. His wife, Kakakosike, succeeded him. This period of time is often referred to as a time of relative peace between the colonists, but it also saw the constant encroachment on the lands designated to the Indians in the Treaty of 1646. Chief Wahaganoch of the Potawatomi tried to work with the colonists, deeding them tribal lands, but it backfired. In 1662, colonists, wanting more, falsely accused Wahaganoch of murder. Found innocent of all charges by a specially convened session of the House of Burgesses, Wahaganoch was nevertheless murdered by colonists while attempting to return home from his damn trial. Shortly thereafter, the colonial government demanded all Potawatomi sell their land, and in 1666 declared war on the Potawatomi, calling their extirpation. The tribes of the North Neck of Virginia were effectively wiped out. The few that managed to escape the settlers were absorbed into other remaining tribes in the region. The peace was shattered further when a small group of Doag Indians murdered 2 settlers known for mistreating and defrauding Indians in general and pillaged the general area, caused a series of escalations and confusions, which led into becoming the violence surrounding Bacon's Rebellion, starting in 1676. This resulted in the Treaty of Middle Plantation, signed by the Kokasi, who allied together other local tribes to sign as well. Are y'all listening? The treaty set up reservations for each tribe and allowed them hunting rights outside their reservation. It established that all the Indian rulers were equal, with provisions that Caucasus was owed the subjection of several scattered groups of Indians. The Treaty of 1677, also known as the Treaty between Virginia and the Indians, 1667, or Treaty of Middle Plantation, was signed in Virginia on May 28, 1677, between the English and representatives from various Virginia American Indian tribes, including the Nottoway, Appomattox, the Wyandot, the Nansemond, the Nazatico, the Monacan, the Saponi, the Marahan, following the end of Bacon's rebellion. The treaty designated those that signed as tributary tribes, which signified that they were guaranteed control over the traditional homelands, hunting and fishing rights, the right to keep and bear arms, and other rights, so long as they maintained their loyalty towards the English crown. The 21 articles of the treaty were confirmed when the English sent gifts to the chiefs along with various badges of authority. The Queen of Pamunkey, known as Caucasus to the English, received a red velvet cap, which was fastened with a silver frontlet and silver chains. And here is the Articles of Peace between the most serene and mighty Prince Charles II. By the grace of God, King of England, Scotland, France, and Ireland, defender of the faith, and several Indian kings and queens, concluded the 29th day of May, 1677, published by His Majesty's Command, London. All right, boom. Now, understand this, y'all. There's more treaties, and that done in Virginia. There's more. I just only pulled out a couple, just that, so you can understand the treaties and who was, responsible for you being pushed off your land and shit like that. This is just Virginia, but those Indians that were in that land, if you trace your ancestors back that far, and your ancestors was in those particular areas of the signing of that treaty, all right, that's the Indian your ancestors are. You won't be in that area if you weren't that Indian. I don't care what nobody tell you. You see, the whole purpose of treaties is for the territorial issues. So now we're in New York. Deed from the 5 nations to the king of their beaver hunting ground, more commonly known as the Fan Treaty, was an agreement made between the representatives of the Iroquois Confederacy with John Nanfan, the acting colonial governor of New York, on behalf of the crown. The treaty was conducted in Albany, New York on July 19, 1701, and amended by both parties on September 14, 1726. We had black governors in those years. Yo. The 5 nations, which became the 6 nations after 1720, granted after mature deliberation, out of a deep sense of the many royal favors extended to us by the present great monarch of England, King William III, the title to a vast area of land covering significant portions of the present day Midwestern United States and Southern Ontario that they had claimed as hunting ground as far west as now Chicago. But before it was Chicago, it was called Quedoge, by right of conquest during the later Beaver Wars of the 17th century. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Pay attention to these dates of these treaties, and wherever your ancestor ass was at is the Indian they were. I'm not playing with these people. As the vast majority of beaver hunting grounds described in the Nanfan Treaty were also claimed by New France or its Algonquin Indian allies. The French did not recognize the treaty. It did recognize Iroquois suzerainty to the British Crown in the 1713 Treaty of Utrecht. And the English made no real attempt to settle these parts for the time being. In the amended agreement 25 years later, the strip of land 60 miles wide adjoining Lakes Erie and Ontario, starting at Sandusky Creek, was reserved for continued Six Nations occupancy and use. Pay attention to these dates. With the permission of its owner under the 1701 agreement, the King of Great Britain. Follow your ancestors with these damn dates. This is your proof. I don't care if it was honored or not. You being in these areas, understand the Indian your ass is. You could have been a descendant of one of them Six Nations. Give me a 1 if you understand that. Give me a 1. If you understand the logic of following these treaty dates, you follow your ancestors. That's how you follow them, by these damn dates. Good. I'm glad you. Good. I like when I see ones because it lets me know you can see what I'm talking about. Follow these damn dates. Follow the treaty. If your ancestor was in here, listen. It's telling you the Six Nations occupation and use continued. So if your ancestors was in those areas, I'm telling you, that's the Indian you were. You just got to know which one of the Six Nations areas it is. But it's not hard to find, babies. It's not. Treaties speak volumes, whether they're honored or not. The fact that you can show you were in that area, you were an Indian. Now, July 19, 1701, Albany, New York, amended September 14, 1726. The parties involved, Iroquois Confederacy and John Nanfan. Look at these areas of the Iroquois and Confederacies, yo. You got it. You look, your family could have been in this area. You was not living, especially the Iroquois, some crazy ass folks, Indians. This is proof. Treaty is proof. Treaty bounds the area. Which bounds your ass if you live there. I'm telling you, this is your proof. I'm going to be a treaty ass chick all week or next week. I don't care if people dislike me for showing this as a major tool to say, I'm Indian, bitch. This treaty put me here. This treaty kicked me off, but I was there till I got kicked off. My chief sold the land and I had to get out. That's your proof. Give me fire. That's your motherfucking proof. And you better love this proof. This is real proof. This is your proof. I'm not playing. I'm doing my Indian shit. The Great Treaty of 1722 was a document signed in Albany, New York by leaders of the 5 nations of Iroquois, Province of New York, Colony of Virginia, and Province of Pennsylvania, also known as the Treaty of Albany. It was made to create a boundary and keep the peace between English settlers and the Iroquois nations. When you hear boundaries and you lived in that boundary, baby, it ain't hard to tell what Indian your ass was. Boundaries. You are bound to that Indian area in that time. Proof of who you are. Proof right there. These treaties will crush heads. This shit crushes heads. The governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, used this treaty as a way to bring more settlers to North America and expand the British Empire. I'm going to read that again. Because there's a boundary line between the English settlers and the Iroquois nations. The governor of Virginia, Alexander Spotswood, used this treaty as a way to bring more settlers to North America and expand the British Empire. Following the Beaver Wars of the 17th century, the Iroquois Confederacy had amassed a great deal of influence in North America. The British colonies in the North were still relatively small, but growing in influence, especially following the 1664 acquisition of New Amsterdam. Yo, like I said, and like they tell you, the colonies were small. The Iroquois reiterated their dominance over other Indian nations, specifically naming the Tuscaroras, the Conestoga, and Shawnee. Listen again. The Iroquois reiterated their dominance over the Indian nations, specifically naming the Tuscaroras, the Conestoga, and Shawnee. They agreed to use their influence to protect the British colonies from attacks from Indians. You could be a Tuscarora, depending on where you live, baby. A Conestoga or a Shawnee. These treaties ain't no joke. They bound you to a land, and it ain't nothing nobody could do when you got that goddamn census sheet showing your way your ass lived. It's a fucking wrap. The negotiations included a grievance reconciliation process, which promoted restorative justice rather than the death penalty. It was based on the February 1722 murder of Sawantaney, a Seneca hunter, by brothers John and Edmund Cartledge. One of the two brothers had struck Sawantaney in the head when he refused to accept rum as payment for furs. Some bullshit. The principal negotiator for the British colonies was William Burnett. A principal spokesman for the Iroquois was a man referred to as Captain Civility, a Susquehannock man who spoke multiple Indian languages. And you know what that means. Susquehannock, who spoke multiple Indian languages. And this is my source. This is my source. You hit the link and it brings up the official shit. All right, y'all. We on Tennessee, so we're going through these pretty fast. Now, Tennessee's a little different. With Tennessee, we're going to break it down, and it's all visual. Very visual. There's a little bit of reading in the end, but Tennessee's treaties is very visual. Let's go, y'all. Smash the like button, please. Hey, big dog. Broken. I pulled the broken Tennessee treaties. The visual representation of what happened to the Indians' land in Tennessee between 1770 and 1835. When the Indians were forcefully removed on the Trail of Tears. That is only a total of 65 years from complete ownership to forced removal via 12 broken treaties. The first treaty preceded 1770 by 7 years. The proclamation of 1763 reserved all of Tennessee for the Indians as shown below. That we're going to keep moving. Now look at this here. We're going to look at these. The slippery slope of land cession began in Tennessee in 1770 when the proclamation of the 1763 was broken. Now, if you look over here on the bottom right, now, the red, British before 1763. That's the red. Look at that shit. And then they gained the pink. The British gained the pink. Look at how the pink. But look at before 1763, the red. Then you got the Spanish before 1762, the gold. See, San Antonio, Rio Grande. All right. And then 1762, they gained the yellow, the Spanish. Missouri River, Louisiana, Santa Fe, Mississippi River. Look at all that yellow. That's what they gained. Now, when you see the lines lost by Spain and gained by Britain in 1763, look down there at the bottom with the lines where it's saying for East Florida. You see all that? These were Indian territories, but we're going to go through that. I'm just showing you the map. And then when you see the green with the pink line in it, look for that on the map. Indian reserved land. And where you see gray at, unexplored. But look at the Indian reserve land. The pink with the green around it. That's where it says Indian Reserve Land of 1763. Now let's go look at it from another way. Now, this is the 1770 Treaty of Lockbar. Now, land owned by Indians is in orange. Land owned by the settlers is in blue. And land being ceded in this treaty by the Indians to the settler is in green. All right. So look at all the Indian land in 1770. That's all the orange. Memphis, all that. You got proof of being in that area in 1770. Yes, the Indian your ass was. Look at the green, that little spot of green way up in the far right. Get your laugh on. Give me a 1 if you understand this map and you can see it. See, when you see the shit, you see who you are. This is the 1770 Treaty of Lockbar. That's all the Indian land in that orange. And the Indian names is in there too. When you sign up on our distribution list, I email this to you in PDF format, all of this whole slide. But you got to be on the mail distribution list to get it. I can't chase you around. Let's go. Oh, I don't know how that got little. Wait a minute. I jumped somewhere. All right. This is 1775 Treaty of Sagamore Shoals. Indian land still in the orange. Settlers land. Look way over in the far right on the top of that little blue. And then treaty land is in the green. Just telling you, Indian land, settlers land, treaty land. Very visual. Can't make this shit up. You lived in that area in 1775, your ass was Indian in any of that orange. And if you was pushed off, you still got proof, because prior to that, it was all Indian land. You lived in that little blue spot, that's proof your ass was Indian, and you had to move out because the settlers came in there and pushed you off. Let's go. I love looking at this shit because it tells a whole story. A whole story. This map is official proof. You can't make this shit up. You can walk right up and say, I'm fucking Indian. I was there in 1775. What you talking about? 1777. Treaty of Long Island of Holston. Indian land, all that orange. Don't play with me. Look at the green, he got a little bigger. And then settlers land. That's when the Indians from the orange, they was whooping their ass, the wars. Every time a settler came in, they had a fight with a damn Indian. And they got a little bit more land. Chief couldn't control his people. I ain't moving. Get your ass out of here. Up 1785. We moving on up. Treaty of New Hopewell. Indian land, all the orange. Look at the settler land, y'all. And then the treaty land in the green. Giving our shit up for a bottle of liquor. 1791. We got the 1790 census, bitches. Indian land, settler land, treaty land. Throw up the fire, y'all. Y'all some Indian asses out there in Tennessee. Where you at, Certified Satchel? $1798. First Treaty of Talico. Settlers land that came in. They was moving you off your land little by little. You was moving. And we was fighting because we ain't want to leave. We had to move in another area. You still was a damn Indian, whether you were pushed off or you stayed there. But they made it so uncomfortable for you. The settlers made it so uncomfortable for you. So you just moved on forcefully. I don't know who this Lucy is, but they mad as hell. But hit their ass, hit this Lucy Moonlight person. They mad, honey, because we showing them. And they mad. This is a dagger. Let's go. Oh, we're in the 1800s now. Whether you were pushed off the land or not, your proof is you're pushed off. The more, if you was in the blue, because the settlers came, you were the Indian pushed off your land. Because these damn settlers came in and got your land because the chief sold it. And the treaty land. You still was the Indian, whether you were pushed off or stayed there. Your identity goes nowhere. 1806. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, y'all. Now you see why you had to say you was black? They came on your land, just moved on in, settlers. Pushed you right on off forcefully. That's the Treaty of Washington. Oh, I don't know why it just keeps doing this. 1817. Because we got 1800 census, y'all. That's why I said, this is why I said, you ain't even got to go back that damn far. We got the 1800 census. We got the 1820 census. Look at Nashville. Settlers' land just grew. Treaty land, Indian land, on in Memphis. Whatever Indian you was there. You was that Indian. You better believe it. (1818). Look at the Indian land. The little orange. Treaty land. Green. Settlers' land. Yo, this shit is crazy, right? 1819. Look at that Indian land. Look at that orange. Man, oh man. 1835. We got 1830 census. It don't matter. You're Indian still, whether the settlers scooped this up or not. You were there before they got there, and you got the proof. You got an earlier census sheet than 1830. That's your proof before they scooped up this land. You better believe it. Relationships between Tennessee's American Indians and the Europeans who came to settle most of the state were regulated by various treaties negotiated between 1770 and 1835. A series of 10 treaties define the areas assigned to both groups and the relationships between the parties, and eventually moved Tennessee's Indian population west of the Mississippi River to present-day Oklahoma. I don't care if they removed you or not. Where did they remove you from? Because wherever they removed you from, that's the Indian you were. Tribe, give me some fire that you now understand how to prove yourself with the treaty, using the motherfucking treaty maps and the census. Give me a 1 if you understand. Please. I need to see that you understand this. When you see it, now you get it. These goddamn treaty maps is your proof to your life. And you better believe that to the core of your being. I don't give a damn what nobody tell you from. This maps and that census shows exactly where you was removed from, where they settled their asses at. In 1763, the British government issued the proclamation line restricting settlement and fur trading without British licenses to areas east of the headwaters of the rivers flowing into the Atlantic Ocean. In 1770, British Southern Indian Superintendent John Stewart made the Treaty of Lockhart with the Cherokees. So now you know what Indian you were. on that map? Cherokee. That's right there. Who did the superintendent, the British Southern Indian superintendent, John Stewart. He made the Treaty of Lopar with the Cherokees that ceded land north and east of a line running along the 36-degree, 30-minute line to Long Island on the Holston River, now Kingsport, and thence northward to the Kanawha River in western Virginia. Though the line was technically the North Carolina-Virginia boundary, it included a small portion of what is now Johnson and Sullivan counties. Boing, boing, boing. You know who you were before they ass came here. You got the proof. In 1771, when John Donaldson and Alexander Cameron surveyed the line with Cherokee assistance, the Cherokees took pity on the settlers living north of the South Fork of the Holston and agreed to the Little Carpenter modification of the Lobachar line, allowing the area north of the Holston to be considered territory for legal settlement. Thus, Sullivan County was part of Virginia until 1779 and was considered a legal settlement area. Settlement area. The Treaty of Sagamore Shoals was negotiated between Judge Richard Henderson and the North Carolina and the Cherokees, led by Little Carpenter during March 1775 at Sagamore Shoals, now Elizabethton, on the Watauga River. This private treaty was illegal under both British and later American law. Illegal. It was, however, one of the most influential in Tennessee history. The treaty transferred the area between the Ohio River and the headwaters of the streams flowing into Kentucky and Cumberland Rivers, central Kentucky and north central Tennessee, to the Transylvania Land Company for 10,000 British pounds of trading goods. Little Carpenter's son, Dragging Canoe, refused to recognize the sale and vowed to turn Middle Tennessee into a dark and bloody ground, a promise he kept through his leadership of the Chickamauga. Henderson opened the Cumberland settlements as a result of this treaty. The supplementary Watauga and Brown purchases also made at the 1775 Sagamore Shoals negotiation transferred ownership of lease rights to Watauga and Nilluckjucky to the white settlers. Transferred ownership of lease rights. Y'all better listen. I will send you this entire slide. You have to sign up to be on a distribution list. You need this. This is important. 2 treaties acknowledged by the Cherokees' defeats in 1776 and 1779 in support of the British during the American Revolution. The Treaty of Hopewell, signed on November 28, 1785, officially ended fighting between the United States and the Cherokees and ceded the area south of the Cumberland River for settlement in return for protection of the Cherokee land. Settlers moved into that land. However, and the more definitive Treaty of Holston was signed at Knoxville on July 2nd, 1791. The territorial governor, William Blount, for a $1,000 annuity, later raised to $1,500 by Secretary of War Henry Knox, the Cherokees ceded all claims to the area east of the Clinch River and north of a line through Kingston to the North Carolina border. Further cession of the land by the Cherokees came at the First Treaty of Tellico, signed October 2nd, 1798. It granted land that settlers had entered between the Clinch River and the Cumberland Plate, and between the Tennessee and Little Tennessee rivers. Treaty negotiations often occurred at Tellico Block House. The second treaty did not affect land in Tennessee, but the third treaty of Tellico in 1805 did. Indian agent Return J. Meigs and Dan Smith obtained from the Cherokees all land north of the Duck River and extended that line due east to the Tennessee River, including all of the Cumberland Plate. A few days later, an additional payment was made to obtain the right to operate a mail road from Tellico to Tumbie River through Cherokee territory as part of a Knoxville to New Orleans route. The same negotiations transferred a small parcel of land around the U.S. garrison at Southwest Point, now Kingston, as a desirable location for the state capital. Subsequently, the capital was moved to that site for one day, September 21st, 1807, to fulfill this pledge, making Kingston one of the 4 official capitals of Tennessee. The following year, 1806, the claims of the Cherokee and Creeks to the land south of Duck River to the southern boundary of the state were purchased. Meigs and Smith paid the Creeks $14,000 for their claims, and Secretary of War Henry Dearborn negotiated the Treaty of Washington of 1806 with the Cherokees to their claims for $10,000. A Grimm's Mill, a cotton gin, and $100 annuity for Chief Black Fox. After the War of 1812 and the subsidiary Creek War, Return J. Meigs began an attempt to persuade the Cherokees to voluntarily remove to the Arkansas area. He was quite successful, but when Cherokees arrived in Arkansas to take possession of the land, they discovered their ownership disputed by Indians already in the area. Yo, this shit is very real. These treaties are very real. These treaties identify you. This resulted in the 1817 Jackson and McGinn Treaty, which transferred lands along the Sequatchie River to white control, along with some land in Georgia, in return for secure possession of land along the Arkansas and White Rivers. The U.S. government also promised to pay the expenses of Indians emigrating to the West. On October 19th, 1818, Andrew Jackson and former Governor Isaac Shelby of Kentucky made the Treaty of Tuscaloosa, traditionally known as the Jackson Purchase, with the Chickasaws. Jackson and Shelby bribed Lebby Colbert, who with his brothers had taken over political leadership of the tribe, and obtained the 10,700 square miles of territory between the Mississippi River and the western valley of the Tennessee River. Y'all see this shit? You can't make this shit up. This area compromising the 4th of Tennessee was a Chickasaw hunting area and contained no villages. The Chickasaws traded it for $300,000 to be paid in 20 annual installments. There was an immediate rush of settlement to the area, and Jackson, John Overton, and James Winchester soon founded Memphis. 16 counties were established by 1824. Y'all see how this shit went? Still don't take away the Indian you are, baby. The next year, 1819, U.S. Secretary of War John Calhoun negotiated the Calhoun Treaty with the damn Cherokees and cleared the remaining area between the Little Tennessee and Hiawassee rivers for settlement. The only area remaining in Cherokee hands was the southeastern corner of the state in the area that now compromises Monroe, Polk, Bradley, and most of Hamilton counties. Y'all know the Indian you are by these names. I'm telling you, yo, these counties, listen to these counties. The whole treaty shows you in the maps. It's not hard to know the Indian you are. It's always been under your nose. The final treaty affecting Tennessee was the Treaty of New Eshata, signed on December 29th, 1835 at New Eshata, Georgia. It was signed by representatives of the treaty party among the Cherokees, who spoke for approximately 10% of the tribe. 10%. The leader of the signatory was Major Ridge, a Tennessean from the Sequatchie Valley area. The United States delegates include former Governor William Carroll. The treaty finalized removal plans for the Cherokees. I don't care if you remove them or not. Before you remove them, it was Cherokees there, bitch. Yo, fire. You have your proof because the treaty is your proof. Whether they removed your ass, I'm telling you. It purchased Cherokee land in Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina, appropriated a portion of that money for travel expenses, used other money to purchase land for Cherokee use in what is now Oklahoma, and set aside the rest for the construction of public buildings in the new location. The treaty gave a 2-year time limit for removal. John Ross of Ross's Landing near modern Chattanooga led the other 90% of the Cherokees to resist removal. This treaty eventually resulted in the Trail of Tears. This is the end for now. I'll be back tomorrow with more treaties. Let me get out of here, y'all. I'm telling you, I love doing this. It's what I like doing. Now, do you understand? I really need you to respond so you can understand legally what protects your identity. The treaty. Whether you were removed, before you were removed, you were that Indian. And when you were moved, you were that Indian. But then a long time, it came along where you better not say you're Indian, you're black. The treaty literally stamps and certifies who you are. The treaty. You got to believe that to your core. I don't care about these niggas in YouTube. I'm serious. I don't care. I'm coming out what I know legally works and what stamps your ass. And you better believe this to the core. I'm not going to make this segment real long, but I want you to understand that your documentary proof of who you are is the damn treaties. Whether they worked in your favor or not, it still proves who you are. Always. And you better believe that and stand on it. If you don't stand on it, you want to be the Monkey Lucy lady, fine. I'm being who I am. Those treaties protect me. Those treaties identify me. Those treaties don't say I'm African. And do you notice in this whole fucking segment, in this whole lecture, in those maps, it ain't got nothing to do with no motherfucking Moors or Indian. And you better believe it was all Indian. And don't you never let nobody tell you, ever. Those treaties protect you, not no fucking Africans and African Americans. That's you. That's who you are. Those treaties are your identity. They were made with your chiefs, whether it was in a negative way to give away your land while you're living on it, or removal of you. You're still that Indian. You're that Indian scorned, especially if it was sold by your chief without you even knowing it. You see, he represented, some of them, he represented 90% of the tribe when they was speaking. Some of them was 20%. Some of them was 10%. You got to understand this. It's the treaties. You got the census sheet, throw it in there. That's always a backup. Oh, here's my mother and them right here in 1800, bitches. Before this land was sold. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. I'm not in the mood. I don't have time no more. It's all about treaties on this channel until I get tired of showing them. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to open up the panel, and I would love for you to come up and dialogue and just let me know you understand it or whatever you had to say. You know, I'm going to give you a few minutes to get up here. I'm going to throw the link in there. You got to understand that to the core of your being. I'm sorry, y'all. Those treaties prove who you are. See, you got to know how to work the information that they got on you. There it is. I'm going to take a little ladies break. To the restroom, and I'll be right back.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day, and when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew, then you feel it rushing in, lose control. You don't wanna go slow, for sure. Let's face it, baby, you know all the places. My places, your place, my place, your place, my place. Just face it, no one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock. We in our own zone. Make yourself at home. Get to know mine on the inside. Can meet at yours next.
Okay, so, oh, Copper Aborigines. I want to make sure it's you, Copper. I know it got to be you because you don't just jump up. I can't see you. Oh, there you go. I can't see you. Put your camera down. Okay, it's really Copper. All right. Hey, Copper.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something.
I see you. You sound good.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I got to do something first. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good.
Hey, I'm doing
While
okay.
you doing that, yeah, cut your YouTube off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
Yeah,
mute you until you
yeah.
cut it.
Right.
I'll mute you till you get it off. Okay. Anybody that wants a copy of the slide, all you got to do is sign up on our distribution list because I always email the slides out, and you can have this with all those maps. So here it is right here. If you just go to www.com. Here it is. There's our link. And just go to the page where it says contact us and sign your name and email address and just write in the notes you want a copy of the slides and I'll email them to you. That's all. We'll email them to you. Of today's slide regarding the treaties. And remember, it's only 3 states that I did, and I just pulled a couple of treaties from each of those states. But I was hoping Certified Sachi was here, but he could catch the rewatch so he could see that land ain't no joke. But even though it was a horrible thing done, damn, it's crazy. Put this here up. Even though it was a horrible thing done, the treaties, hey, the bomb mom, the treaties is your proof who you are, the treaty, straight up, because the Indian chief represents you. Always. Facts. ASAT, Copper, you can unmute now. You got to unmute yourself if you're talking. Hey, the bomb mom, Jeremiah Myers. Oh, there you go. Can you talk, Copper? Poor Copper. You always have a problem when he jump on panels.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Real good.
Oh, okay.
Stay right where you are. Don't do nothing else.
I feel a little better today than I did yesterday.
That's good. I'm glad you feel better.
Okay.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I was hot yesterday. You don't know.
I know.
I wanted to go blow some stuff up yesterday.
Oh, don't say that on the panel, bro.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean it literally.
Yeah. Just
I blew up yesterday. I'm telling you.
That's okay. You'll
I'm
be
talking
all
about
right.
me blowing up.
That's okay. It's all right. But how you doing? What's going on? What do you think of the treaties?
I love it because now when I'm here, like, dealing with yesterday and then dealing with it today is a lot different for me.
Well, that's good.
Because at first I'm looking at it like all this time and all these years, we should have been knowing this. So in my mind, it's like who?
Well, that's because you were
benefited?
redirected to being somebody else.
Yeah, but get this. Who benefited from us knowing our true story? And so when I start looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. There's something else going on.
Oh, you faded out. Smash that like button, y'all. Oh, Copper, you faded out. Let me finish saying shout outs to you. Get your mic right. Timothy Booker, Jonathan Yeserburn, Warris, okay, Anthony Lowe, Conworth, Prophet Levi. Whoa, ain't seen him in a minute. Bobby Johnson, Concrete Jones, Jay Will, Charles Clark, Marcia Wheeler, a big dog, Jonathan. Let me see, Enoch, Original Intellect, Big Dog, Billy OG. I think I T Cortez, Copper Tone. Fuck out of here, Apparel. Let me see who else in here. Um, Malik Mack, um, Anthony Lowe, Yashini in the house, Injun, William Robinson, everybody watching, Yellowhammer Swakey, I think Sylvia Jones, Jay Will, Moonlight, Lucy. Oh, he just mad. I know I stung y'all. Sorry. Paper cut. Oh God, these are just trollers. They mad. They mad. I'm sorry. Rodney Gilmore, hey. Anybody else? Everybody watching, honor to y'all that's watching. John A. Dorian Scott. Miko Butler. From Alabama. All right. Maybe I do Alabama tomorrow. I don't know. Let me see. I think I got everybody. And everybody watching, honor to you. You know, Lilia, Marve, Copper. You know what? You better fix your stuff. Timothy Booker. Okay, that's him. All right. I hope you are right now. Sammy Booker. Samiki Booker.
Okay, I'm back now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Christopher Jabbar. Just saying hi. The enemy's public. I'm just, shouting out everybody. I think I got every Briar, Threat, Equator 7. I'm just shouting everybody. Yeah, hurry up. I want to eat dinner. I'm hungry. Yo, Miga, Lily, yeah. I think I got everybody. If I didn't, honor to you anyway for being in here. And I hope that the Choctaw Montana, hey, Big Chief Indian River, salute. Some folks might have to catch the rewatch, but you need to really understand. Hey, Sylvia, you really need to understand how to work those treaties because they work in your favor. Believe me when I tell you, that's governmental proof. A treaty is an official document. And you got to understand that. And it puts your Indian butt right in your Indian land. And you now know who represented you on your land. And it's so painful because if you owned a particular area of land in the territory that you were in and you occupied it and you're that Indian, and just for it to be sold, your land to be sold and given away without your knowledge, next thing you know, you got settlers knocking on your door, sending you a tax bill because your particular part of the land was sold to the settlers. And, they have their little system because we wasn't part of their system as Indians. But you're in that territory living on your land, and then you get a tax bill. That shit is crazy. But the Indian you are, that those treaties lock you in as to who you are. Ain't nothing African about them treaties. Facts. And you seen all the land they had. Understand this. That protects you. The laws have changed now. You don't have to be afraid or worry about saying who you are. Because now today, men can say that they're women and women can say that they're men. The laws change. It's been 400 years. Come on. Our grannies and them were traumatized with not being able to call themselves who they are. Remember Dane showed y'all that video with that black teacher teaching that little boy that he's a Negro. That cute little boy. That just brought tears, gave me tears, man. That's the kind of shit our ancestors went through in them schools. I'm gonna give you $1. You a Negro, and you seen that video. It just touched my heart, man. It was so, it's just so, it hurt me. But yeah, that shit is very real. It was done to our ancestors. But do the rewatch and look at the maps. Those maps are the treaties. And you go and you can get a copy of the treaties. You literally can. So, Copper's having issues. I love you guys. Smash the like button. I'm going to go and have dinner. I'm pretty hungry. And I didn't want to be on too long. I didn't want to make it a really long segment. So, we're almost 2 hours on. We've been on for an hour and about 40 minutes. About 45 minutes. So let's give everyone else a chance to watch and understand the purpose of the treaties and how those treaties as proof can help you and help you. Okay? Those treaties, that's your proof. And it's very real. That's how you prove who you are. The treaties. And it also shows and proves that you were literally pushed off your land and forced off by the settlers. You deal with the government on your own individual basis with that issue, okay? And I'll be back with more treaties from more states. Copper Aborigines, I'm going. This is the last time. Other than that, I'm going to go. Go ahead, say what you're going to say, bro, because I'm going to get off of here and go eat my dinner. I got baked potato. Your mic is muted if you're speaking. poor Copper.
Yeah, I mean, hey, shit, I'm trying to talk and this muted itself. Shit.
You and that damn mic. What's
hey,
good?
I'm telling you. Hey, everything is fine.
KH8RN's honor to you. KHRN, unfortunately, I can't go because I work and it's just too much short notice for me. I can't go with the job that I have and the work that I have to do around my house. I have other obligations, although I would love to go. And I have an ill mom that I really want to get out to Florida to see. So I'm sorry. I know it's going to be fun. But you tell him when you see him, don't be worried about my cigarettes. I love watching Ali Muhammad. I do. I really do enjoy watching his shows. I do. He's a great brother. I do. But I still kick his butt. Be telling me about my cigarettes with his stinking butt. Hey David. All right, go ahead, Copper. What you feel about these treaties, bro? Because I want to go eat. I'm hungry.
I love them. I love it. I just want you to know that. Because this clears up a lot of stuff. Yeah. I mean, a lot. And what it does, I don't know if other people are paying attention to it, but I did. What it does, it puts us back in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Much. Mm-hmm.
They can't get around this.
You can't.
And like I wrote in the chat, the treaties are the laws of the land. That's what's in the Constitution. It's sitting there red, so they know what the treaties are. It ain't like they don't know. But these new these foreigners who's sitting in these governmental seats of the United States are going to be the ones screaming the blues.
I don't know. I'm just showing you how to show you Indian. That's all I'm saying. That's your proof right there. With no damn Africans pushed off no damn lands. That was you. That was your daddies, your granddaddies, your great, great, great. Listen, our ancestors, and that's a fact. Fact, fact, fact. You can't
Straight
make
fact.
this
What?
shit up. They did the same thing to the Pequot. They did it here in the North first. That's how I know it's factually true, because the same shit they did with the Pequots. You should see all the land the Pequots had.
From what you described yesterday, that's why I was so hot when you were saying it. That hurt. What happened to the Pequots, and then where they were forced into the who was that, the Muskogee and some other tribe?
The Mohegans. Well, the Mohegans were Pequots. They were originally Pequots. So they moved away from it because misunderstandings with the Pequot government. They formed their own tribe and named themselves the Mohegans. But they were originally Pequots. The Connecticut was Pequot, Hartford was Pequot, and territory, period. They were originally one tribe, Pequots. And so they moved away and formed their own. They formed their own tribe and called themselves the Mohegans. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember hearing about the Mohegans when I was growing up in New York. When I was a little.
Oh yeah.
Like when I was just a child back in the 60s.
It's sad when you find out, your former member killed the chief. That's just like crazy. Chopped his head off. And that really hurt me. It's a sad thing. They literally chopped his head off and handed it over to the British. Just prove loyalty. And that hurts.
Well, just like they doing
my brother's head off, man.
Well, no different than what they doing today. Shooting and killing these brothers.
That's how you know we are who we are. We still doing the same shit. And same thing if you look at it from a religious standpoint, look what all the religions that came after Christianity. After they got tired of Christianity, they started going into other religions. It started with the Moors. They established that and then brought that here in the 20th century. And then you got the Nation of Islam. Now, let's say that they passed a law, right, where we had to be in a religion. I would be in the Nation of Islam. For real, for real.
Well, actually,
if I had to be forced and say you're going to die, I would join the Nation of Islam. Because in the Nation of Islam, you can fight and you can kick people's ass. You still got your kick ass right.
Well, hey, guess what?
Back in the day,
they were doing it
when I was
as
a little
Christians
girl. They taught.
too.
Yeah, I know. But back in the day, in the 70s, they taught the women from the Nation of Islam how to fight. Them chicks would beat your ass.
Oh, absolutely. They would tear your ass
karate
up.
And everything. Mm-hmm. For real, for real.
Yeah, because I knew some of them.
Yeah, my uncles was into that. I remember being a little girl and my uncles having a picture of Elijah Muhammad on the wall, but I was so little. I was like 8 years old, and I remember
having
that picture
Elijah
of that
Muhammad
man.
on the wall was like,
because back then they put all the pictures on the wall, like from Jet magazine. They would, my uncles, I would be going in their room and they would have all these posters on their wall. Some of it would be like
Dr. King and
Muhammad Ali,
and they had
Five Percenters was on their wall. The Huey Newton, they was all posted up on my uncle's walls, pictures. Yeah, I remember as a little girl. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get out of here, Copper Edgies, because I'm so hungry. I gotta go cook. I'm hungry. Hey, Gretchen, I'm gonna go and kick back, eat my dinner. I'm already showered up. I'm gonna go kick back and see if what's today? Monday? No, today's Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh, Sanchez is coming on, so I'll probably go watch Sanchez because Ali he come on, but he come on too damn late. But I'll kick in. I end up falling asleep.
Where's he at right now? Where's
know.
Ali at right now? His time zone.
I don't know him like that. I just know him from YouTube. I don't know him personally. Like where he
Oh
lives.
no, I don't know him personally either. I know him from YouTube as well, but you know the hours
like
that he come. Well,
I
yeah,
don't
he come a
know.
long way.
I like him. I think he's funny and comical. He don't take no shit on his panel. That's what I like about him. He don't let nobody get up there and have no raging arguments. He ain't with that shit. He will check your ass at the door. And that's what I really like. Because then you get to hear him lecture and teach. Now, I don't agree with everything he say, but I still like it. You know, I learn. I want to interview him. I really do.
That's the whole idea of it.
He's really worth interviewing. He's literally worth interviewing. Oh, KHARN said Eastern time. She's probably one of close person with him.
Wait a minute, Eastern time. What time again?
He's Eastern time like me. He's the same time zone as me. So if it's 5:09, look at that. Your little butt keep falling.
Because I'm at 5:30 right now. Almost 5. What is it? 5:10.
Where you at?
In Michigan. We're on the same time zone.
It's 5:09 right now.
Well, 5:09. I did say 5:10.
Okay, so yeah, we're Eastern time. So he's Eastern time too. I don't know. Maybe it's personal stuff. I mean, they do own a damn town in California. I do want to ask him though, why is Africans? They say African American. Ain't no damn Africans, because he don't go by African. He go by Aboriginal. To the American, I don't know. That's why I want to interview him, but that's gonna be hard to do because I don't know his personal life and stuff. So I don't know.
But they all going by. They all going by Aboriginal now because of what happened in 2019.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, DJ.
When the Indians really started rising in 2019.
Whoop ass. Oh, yeah. You need to come up earlier next time. Next time I do it, say, I met Dr. Ali, but I don't know him. She met him, but she don't know him personally. But at least you know he's Eastern time.
Okay. So I said thank you.
He said thanks. She hear you. Everybody hear you. And you eating.
Oh.
I want to go eat. I'm hungry.
All right. This is my first time eating today. I've been ripping and running.
Oh, you fasting?
Yep.
Stop lying. You know you ain't fasting, Copper.
I am. This is the first thing I ate today. I've been doing this every day for the last week and a half now.
Oh, that's good, Copper. That's good. DJ, I ain't seen you. He been missing in action. All right, honey. Well, I'm going to get off. Everybody hit the like button. I'm going to get off so people can watch it. I don't want it to be a long build because I really want them to watch it. And if you want those slides, just sign up on the distribution list and I just email them. It's quick. One email.
Oh, before you get off, did you check your email that I sent you?
I did, but I didn't get a chance to read it. I be at work. That's why I come live like at 3 and 2.
Okay. I didn't know.
I'm gonna check it out. I did receive your email though. I did.
But take your time checking that out. Woo.
Okay, I will. The bomb mom, love you, boo boo. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get on up out of here. I want to go eat, Copper. I'm so hungry. My stomach is like growling.
Okay, that's
I only had a bagel today. Okay, honor to y'all. See y'all later.
Love everybody in the chat. Peace.
What's good, Dama? ISO to the ND, yeah. Open up the door, watch all the G's forward. Smoke clouds follow while we hit another quarter. 50s in a carry-on, feel like a transporter. It's a privilege to know me, that's 100 on my broski. 1-2 punch, damn this thing hitting fully. Fresh pot of gumbo and we back up on our bully. Beat by diamond, shout out to the boy Cookie. Now I'm everything I could be, shades on with a hoodie. Off a little something so you think I got my eyes closed. These is one and none, no baby, these is not those. Getting so much chicken blockheads out of tacos. Getting so much packs like we gotta scan a barcode. Getting so much A, cause we working out of ISO. Should've went Indies, but you didn't, now you dry snow. Baby come to Brooklyn, yeah, you know they moving shiny stone. Told her pull it over, ain't gotta read no rights though. Everything a process, checking in deposits. Got a shoe closet, many complex closet. He a true prophet, in a true pocket. Racket club days, yeah, we used to be on Moffitt. Getting so much, what was so much in this world? Mine is what you make it, then every day's a turf. I ain't never settled, so you better up the skirt. Put the pedal to the flirt, yo, check the dashboard. Getting so much, what was so much in this world? Mine is what you make it, then every day's a turn. I ain't never settled, so you better up the skirt. Put the pedal to the flirt, yo, check the dashboard. Cause they open up the door to G's forward. Smoke clouds follow while we hit another quarter. 50s in a carry-on, feel like a transporter. It's a privilege to know me, that's 100 on my broski. 1-2 punch, damn this thing hitting fully. Fresh pot of gumbo and we back up on our